Welcome back. The Santa Claus Rally officially kicks off today. This year, it runs through January 3rd. The S&P 500 so far year to date, you're up almost 27%. It's incredible. Does that continue? But underneath the surface, not everything looked great. Take a look at the S&P 500 worst performers through yesterday's close. You probably are not totally surprised by these, right? Walgreens Boots Alliance down 65% for the year. A massive issue with retail and pharmacy. Third worst performer, Intel, still down 60% for the year. Again, failing to struggle with the big turnaround and lost their CEO, Pat Gelsinger, just a few months ago. If I told you who the best performers were, if I did a pop quiz, I guarantee you Brian and Lydia would say NVIDIA, right? No, NVIDIA was only the third best performer. It's only up 183%. The standout here for me, you guys, Palantir.
I would have said that.
Oh, what?
I would have said Palantir.
No
Just for
way.
the record, I would have said that. Yes, I would have.
He's lying.
No, I would have said it.
To make himself look good. No. Palantir, you guys, up 380%. Pretty much the perfect combination, analysts say, between AI and defense. One of the bulls is Michael Lee, strategy founder Mike Lee, who I'm pleased to say joins us now. Mike, we kind of want to give you a victory lap on this. You came into the year and said that this was your stock of your lifetime. Do you still believe that, and do you still buy into this stock going forward?
Yeah, absolutely, Palantir. The technology for this moment in time could not be more perfectly placed. And so you have a very expensive valuation, but historically, you've only seen that in companies like a Tesla, where you have a retail-driven momentum behind the shares. And so look, their rule of 40 score, which is how much they're growing, plus their profit margins is growing every quarter. You have all the podcast bros talking about how they're going to be able to easily undercut their competition. And it's kind of the larger story is that you're going to get this move from hardware into software as the year, as the next couple of years of this AI trend plays out.
Yeah, I would have said Palantir because of you, and only because of you, because you've been so hot on that one. But I know you love Bitcoin too, and I'm reading that like the sentiment around Bitcoin is sort of taking a dive right now. Are you looking at Bitcoin right now as a good buying opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a pretty easy double within the next 6 to 9 months, in that, without having the ETF, without having these debt and deficits that are just blowing numbers, okay, without having a pro-crypto administration who has a crypto czar talking about creating a crypto reserve, this stock was on its way there simply from the halving and the historical trends where you get a triple of the previous cycle high. Now, when you add all of these catalysts to it, I feel that $200,000 price target conservative. And then when you actually see the U.S. government put into plan a cryptocurrency reserve, you could see much, much higher than that. But, I think these Bitcoin ETFs are easy investments for people looking for trades.
Mike, you mentioned debt and deficit, so that makes me think about what's happening in Washington. And here we are hoping for cuts in spending and also tax cuts too. But how much of what you're seeing next year relies on, development, success in D.C., are lawmakers actually getting a budget and tax cuts delivered?
Well, look, I think there's one thing that the establishment Republicans can agree with Donald Trump on, and that's tax cuts. And so that was the first historic touchdown of his first administration. I don't think they're going to have a problem getting tax reform through extending the tax cuts and maybe changing some things. I think that's a given. I think the markets price that in. And then outside of what Trump can get done legislatively, we know how the story plays out. Less regulation, lower fuel costs, okay? A pro-business administration, one that's at least attempting to shrink the size and power of the federal government. People like that. You saw the largest jump in the small business optimum index in history from November to December. The second largest jump was at the same time point in 2016.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a very good run going forward. Hopefully we get this debt and deficit under control.
Well, Mike Lee, we appreciate you in 2024 as well as your outlook on 2025, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.